Welcome to Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis. So, the Goodwill racket, the thrift racket that I got, I'm going to test it out today and show you how good or bad it is. Stay tuned. All right, guys, but before I get started here, you guys know I have a coffee habit and a beer habit, but since I shoot in the morning most of the time is my coffee habit before my beer habit. But since a bunch of you have asked and even wanted to contribute to my mic habit, I understand that our mic system isn't the best, but we're in the process of upgrading it. And if you want to help contribute to that, please just buy me a bunch of coffees and I will put those funds towards a new mic system. Okay? So I thank you in advance, and hopefully, you can hear me a little better. It really sucks in the wind when we're outside. So hopefully the new system will make everything a little more clearer and better for you guys. Okay? So thank you. All right, so this Prince Graphite Pro 110 that I got at the Goodwill store, I strung it with Solinco Confidential, 55 pounds, and I put my Dunlop Super Tack overgrip over the leather. This is a 5/8 grip. There's no doubt about that, and I put the grip over that. Okay, so I'm gonna take this racket out, and I got my man Coach Chris out there. And we will test it out for you. Okay? I'll see you there. All right, guys. Got my man Coach Chris here with me today. We're going to try out our Goodwill racket and see what we think. All right, guys, so we just played with this Prince Graphite Pro 110, and we just realized that this racket is older than Coach Chris. So 1986, right? So it's probably like a lot older than Coach Chris. So what do you think of the racket that's older than you?
After hitting with it, I was surprised how if you timed it right in the sweet spot, it actually, I was able to hit through it quite well. Only when you don't hit it right in the dead center is when I felt like the frame being a little bit unstable, a little wobbly. Maybe that's because of what the rackets were made of back then. So I definitely prefer a little bit more of a stiffer frame. But this one, as soon as I was taking some bigger swings, especially on my backhand, if I wasn't right here in the middle, then it would just feel a little bit wobbly. But other than that, I thought that this was great. When I timed it well, the ball was flying off the strings. And we've got modern strings on it, so it's a pretty decent frame. So it's not bad. But I probably wouldn't play it with it competitively, but it's still I like the swing weight of it too. I thought the balance was quite well. And yeah, that's what I thought.
All right, so Graphite racket 110. Now we put modern strings on it, you guys would think, like what we wanted to. So Solinco Confidential, like I always do, 55 pounds, because it's an oversized. So just to compensate for the bigger head. So we got good control out of it. I felt like we got good power out of it too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pretty decent, so
I was able to keep up with this guy, with this racket pretty well. And $5.
yeah. $5.
$5, right? So you can't beat it for $5. I mean, a string job's obviously going to cost more than a racket itself at this point. Hopefully, you guys have your own stringer or something, you know, or a friend who could string a racket for cheap, or just, you know, for a racket for $5, you know, your string job's going to be like 35. So $40 for the whole thing, still not bad. Okay, so I'm going to take it back to the shop. I'm going to balance, swing, weight this, and weight this to see how much this thing weighs, because there's no specs on this. Okay, want to thank my man Coach Chris for hanging out with me today. Where can we find you, Chris?
You can find me at CB Chen Tennis.
Are you sure there? Because you looked around there, Chris. It's CB Chen.
Yep.
CB Chen Tennis, okay?
Yes.
CB Chen Tennis. All right, I'll see you back at the shop. All right, guys, so I'm back at the shop. We just hit with the stick. I'm going to actually balance and swing weight and weight it out like I said I was going to do, because it did feel pretty heavy to me. $315 millimeters. Let's hit the scale. Whew, 368. Let's see what the swing weight is on this thing. $337. All right, so let's check out the numbers here. 110 on that, okay? 110. The weight, pretty high, okay? That's kind of like a modern day pro stock. Balance, pretty low. Swing weight, pretty medium. So this is why Chris and I were able to pretty much take this racket and immediately swing with it pretty easily. It's because the balance and the swing weight wasn't super high numbers. If this racket was as high as that Wilson Profile 120, that thing would probably be super hard to get through and swing on time. But because of those two numbers, it actually made this racket pretty stable along with that big weight number there. So for a thin beam racket on a 110 head, this was actually really good. So Coach Chris was correct in that you do have to hit it kind of right in here for this to be stable and firm. If you hit it anywhere outside of, let's say, this throat area, like in here or in here, it does get a little unwieldy and it will flex and not produce a solid shot. But I mean, we were able to find the sweet spot pretty easily because of the thin beam. It actually cuts through the air pretty quickly. I mean, all in all, for a graphite racket from 1986, man, that's crazy. A racket that's older than Coach Chris. This, I mean, was actually, I call it a pretty good treasure for $5. I mean, granted, I had to put strings and a overgrip on it, but hey, if you needed a racket and if this was strung for $5 at the Goodwill, which I do find once in a while, you can pretty much take the racket out and go play with it. And you can't beat that. So check out, Goodwill's garage sales, the Salvation Army stores, or any kind of thrift stores near, where you live or where you work. Because sometimes you can actually find a treasure there, a hidden tennis racket treasure. Okay, so check it out. See what you can find. You know, you can, you know, like I always say, one man's trash is another man's treasure. And sometimes it can be as low as $5. Okay? Happy hunting. Thank you for watching Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis.